Alright, so next part of our playthrough, and we're in the garage because we're going to switch cars. We got a rally car recently, and we're finally going to be able to just immediately use it, so nice. Let me check what tires I have on this car, because we might need tires. We get automatically a set of medium compound tires, which is great. Medium tires, perfect. And you know what? I think we can try to do this bone stock. We're gonna try and do this series bone stock. We have one series left in the beginner league, and it is the GT World Championship. There is the Altezza race that I could clean up, but since you already completed it, it counts as a gold trophy. Finishing this series would complete the beginner league, so there we go. This is the Gran Turismo World Championship. Fired with an A license. Nice prize money, no limits, but all the competition is rally cars. And it's a 10 race series, the longest series so far, but thankfully the races are pretty short, so we should be able to clear this in one shot. But yes, we won the Evo Rally car from the Evolution meeting in Amateur League, because we're required to be licensed. And look at that, we got a duplicate, and we actually have a GT300 car here. So, no 22B, so sorry Snowtato. I could reset and try for it. But, yeah, put the medium tires on. Yes, Evo in the race. Pepe hands. Get Escort, Corolla, Citroen, and a Sylvia. So, let's just get right into it and see how it is. If they did upgrade, then I might be screwed, but let's see. We're in bone stock. So, 2 laps per race, which is pretty good. Gonna be short races. And yeah, we're in a bone stock car. I think our biggest opponent is going to be the Sylvia. Whoa, big punt. Yeah, this should be easy. We don't need upgrades or not even an oil change. This will be a good scrap though between the Sylvia. So you know, we do need an opponent to keep us on our feet. But we make the move around the outside pretty easily. And just hold. Looks like actually we were pulling away from Sylvia. But yeah, just like that beginner league race we did, or not beginner league, that arcade race we did where we drove the MRS. Same opponents. This is basically rallycross. We are driving a street circuit. The GT40. GT40 is in this game, but we haven't reached a series that uses it yet. Yeah, gold currency is really tricky in Real Racing 3 because a lot of cars require it to get through and unlock the car. And you need to be careful with your gold spending. Pretty easy race. This is probably going to be an easy championship, but we're in a bone stock rally car. Not much we can do. I don't think you can add ballast in this game. We are in the medium tires, which is maybe a little unfair, but they're the stock tires. Yeah, servings cost. It has the whole thing where you have to wait, just like every mobile game that has a fuel system. So the Citroen, which I thought would struggle with front-wheel drive, is actually held on to third place. So pretty good. So here's where we are in the championship. 10 points. There's now 100 points possible instead of what's it, 50. I can't do the stupid math. And yeah, 10,000 credits. We're gonna get a nice amount of money. Very nice amount of money from this series. So we can just keep going right along. So, Super Speedway, 4 laps, gonna be a really short race. F1 2021 seems sus because of Game Pass. I mean, it's a sports game. F1 is becoming basically the FIFA or NBA 2K or Madden of the genre. New games every year. The tracks are the same for the most part. The cars drive the same for the most part. The drivers are different for the most part. Mercedes is still Hamilton and Bottas for this game. In fact, in F1 2017, the Mercedes driver lineup is exactly the same. So, there you go. But then you can make driver transfers and stuff in F1 2021 anyway, so you can make your own grid. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, Loeb drove the Citroen for most of his career, right? So, top of 6 gear. Kind of a quiet race. Didn't the Peugeot 206 that's in this game win the WRC championship in the previous year? Yeah, this is obviously Tommy Mackinnon's car because it has Tommy on the back. I'm pretty sure this was the Marlboro logo though originally, right? They just swapped it out for video game reasons. Shreyas is here. I thought the 206 was the 2000 version. Or is it the 98 version in this game? So much lore behind every car, and just like that, race is done. That was a quick one. Only like 3 minutes, not even 2 minutes 50 seconds. We're still going. We still got 8 races to go in this championship, and we're going through it pretty fast. 206 2000 was gray. Then it became silver and red. So, point standings pretty much doubled. Sylvia placed the second. Sylvia's going to be probably a clean second place. Look at that, 98,000. Next race should give us 100 grand. See you, Games X. Yeah, that's Fighting Falcon. That's what I feel like. I feel like the gameplay should be really good, but I don't trust EA to get this right. Which is sad, because I want the game to be good. You watch GT Sport? Nice. GT Sport. I really like it. There are people who don't like it, but I think it's a good game. Yeah, Aspect was similar to that for Racing 3, where the car had, I can't speak. The game had cars that were very cheap, easy to unlock, upgrades were cheap, and they just inflated everything. So now we got second place. Lock down the Sylvia, and just, pick up some slipstream and see what we can do with them. Brakes are very nice. The medium tires really help. Yeah, Peugeot, people don't really talk about Peugeot as a brand that much. They're kind of in the shadow. I know they might be big in France, but isn't like Renault the biggest manufacturer in France anyway? They're like the Toyota. I mean, I think they're partnered with Nissan, right? So that's what everybody knows in France. Yeah, Peugeot was successful in Le Mans and Rally. Even I think they had a stint in Formula 1 too, but they weren't particularly known. They did engines, I think, for a couple seasons in the 90s. I think McLaren actually ran with them for one season. I mean, game damage is tough in a mobile game, so, you know, every day just be thankful it's not Project Cars Go. I saw a video from Don Joan's song, and he used a clip from Project Cars Go, and I thought, that looks disgusting. I mean, the video is fine, but like, just Project Cars Go as a game just looks nasty. It doesn't even look fun to play. It just looks like something you throw in front of a 4-year-old, and he wouldn't even like it. You know what I played when I was 4? Gran Turismo 3. My parents have pictures of me that was sitting in like this little hamper, and I was playing Gran Turismo 3 on with PS2. And the big TV downstairs, and those were good times. Good times. So another easy win, another short race. We are blazing through this championship. 30 points. We might actually do this in like 45 minutes. We might actually have time for another series. That's a good thumbnail shot. Project Cars Go, yeah. I mean, enough's been said about it, but I mean, it's fun to rip on it because they went through with it and thought all the way up to release, like, yeah, this is a great idea. Yeah, Renault was in the Group B era. I mean, France, really big in the rally scene in general. Project Cars 3 be like an endless runner, but you don't even control the dude. Forza Street is also a pretty terrible game. Nobody talks about Forza Street because it's not a good game. It's just like, oh, tap when you see it. Like, anyone can make a game like that. They just have the lights thing in the cars. Who, Loeb? Is Loeb retiring? I mean, he's had a pretty long career. It's just weird that all the racing drivers that I grew up with are towards the end of their career. And we have the new generation of Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris, Russell in Formula 1, and then all the other drivers in like bike racing, rally. Hold it. We're just going for style points there. Hey, can the Citroen pass the Silvia? That'd be cool for the championship. I don't think he will, but yeah. I'm not on Team Verstappen. I'm not on Team Hamilton either, but it's just weird watching this season. You guys go to like Formula Dank, or really any social media thread. Hamilton is so hated now. I don't remember him ever getting as much hate as he does now when he's losing. That's the thing is, like, I thought people were salty with him because he won all the time. I was salty because he was beating Seb, but I never doubted like his abilities. But now everyone's like doubting his whole career, and it's like, jeez. And they're like saying, oh, he deserves to get stomped on by Max. It's like, guys, just can we just like, you know, enjoy a good season? We might have the best Formula 1 season in years, and so toxic. So toxic. People talk about F1 because F1's the biggest sport. It's got a huge following now. They've done a really good job with getting attention on social media. I just realized we're above 100,000 credits now. That was totally a big moment that I just kind of missed. So there we go. Guna Seka. Yeah, rally's always fascinating. Because it's just you and the track. Lando got another podium, yep. He's probably the biggest surprise of the year for many. We all know he was good, but how consistent he's been for the first 9 races is like actually unbelievable. I think he's only had one bad race, which was Spain. But still, he even scored points there. His teammate fails to score points when he makes the podium sometimes. But the fact that he's beating Bottas and right there up with Checo as well, like, it's crazy. What a season he's having. I'd say it actually might be, at the moment, I'm probably going to jinx it for the next race, but at the moment, it's one of the best midfield driver seasons ever. See, I'm a bit cynical, and I think George Russell is going to get into Mercedes just when Mercedes drops the ball on regulations. I don't know why, but with his luck, something like that would definitely happen. I'd watch Williams become like the dominant force they were in the 90s and have Nicholas Latifi or Bottas become a champion. And Mercedes are suddenly in the back, failing to score points. That would be a crazy timeline. Who knows though? Supposedly it was leaked that Russell's getting signed. That Russell already signed a deal and it's just going to be announced next week. So by the time I'm streaming again, it might already happen. We'll see. This track used to be Mazda Raceway, yep. That was just the sponsor though. Ooh, the Sylvia. Going for a move on the corkscrew. He's got better traction, I bet. Yeah, Ocon got unlucky. He was in Mercedes too early. And then when he was the reserve driver in 2019, he never got his chance. He could have driven in Germany 2019. Imagine. Probably could have picked up a huge result for Mercedes considering how bad they ended up doing in that race. Who knows? He got his dream podium finish though in the Renault last year. Speaking of which, we are in a clean sweep right now, on our way to one. We now have a 2-race gap. Nice prize money. I'm actually going to save my game midway through the championship just in case we have any issues. But I'm in this. I like this, so we're going to lock it down. Nigel Mansell, yeah, one of the legends. Could have won more titles than what he did end up accomplishing. But yeah, his stats are crazy too. It's just he was in the era of Senna and Prost. And, you know, when you have those titans around, you know, the winners go anywhere. Mansell could have won 86, 87, 91. He won 92. If he stayed for another year, he would have won 93. You know, we were talking about potentially 4 or 5 championships he could have had, and 3 that he narrowly missed out on. Like, if you look at his 1991 season, everyone remembers Senna for how good he did, but Mansell, every race he finished, it was in the top 2. And he was only a couple of wins off from beating Senna. So, is Fearum streaming today? I didn't know that. Nice corner. That we got a 7 down. We're a master at that right-hander. He's now live. Jim Clark, yeah, he was a legend. I never got to see him race, obviously. Same thing with Mansell or Schumacher, Senna, but the stories you hear are always great. I wish we had replays of Clark's races, but it was before broadcasting. Same thing with Fangio. One of the best of all time, but you never get to see his replays or anything like that. Just articles. If you want a Fearum stream, alright. Thank you all for watching. We're going to continue doing this championship. So, stick around, double monitor, or watch Fearum. Basically 3 choices. But tell him I said hi. Tell Fearum I say hi. David Coulthard. He had a nice career, plenty of wins, maybe even a title challenge in 2001, sort of. He finished second. So that's why I say sort of. He never really looked in control of the championship ever. He did lead it in 2003 and 1997, I think, because he won the opening races of those seasons. And he helped McLaren to 2 constructors, or 1 constructor's title, that's right, he didn't win 99. So, he helped them win a constructor's title though, which, that's probably the best you can do. Yeah. I am obviously playing GT3, so I prefer that. And since we're already midway through a championship, I don't wanna drop this and pick this back up. It's a short. They're short races anyway, so we can just finish this. We'll be done in like 20 minutes. And then after that, I don't know. Getting a little hungry. But that's it. Race 6. Done and dusted. Easy peasy. Another 10 points. That puts us at 60. 24 points ahead of the Sylvia. I think the next race will almost have it guaranteed. Almost. If the Sylvia has a bad finish, then there might be a chance that goes. But I'm gonna go to the bathroom again because I drank water. I'll be right back. So you say Seb could have been a 5-time championship, but he won 2012. He has 4. I argue Seb could have been a 7-time championship if he had his if he had everything go to plan. Because 2009 he was actually in the Trail Challenge and he narrowly missed out because his first part of the season he had a lot of bad luck. He had a crash in Australia, spin out in Malaysia, and he picked up a win in China early on, but he lost a bunch of points to Braun and Button, and then when he started picking up all those wins in the second half of the year, it wasn't enough. He could have won 2009. Then he won 2010 and 13. So there's that from his Red Bull stint. And then for Ferrari, obviously there's 17 and 18. It's weird to think about 2017 and 2018, but especially 2017, sort of. But the thing is, Red Bull is in a similar spot to Ferrari from 2017, but not really if you think about it. Ferrari had a great car, and some argue it was even a better car than Mercedes, but Mercedes never looked like they were struggling, like genuinely struggling. Even in 2018, when Seb had the lead to both championships after the British Grand Prix, Mercedes never looked like they were powerless. There were tracks that you knew would be Mercedes dominant, and you knew that would be Ferrari preferred. And then there was Red Bull to take away points from both teams, occasionally. And eventually Mercedes outdeveloped Ferrari, got the upper hand, pressured Seb into making more mistakes, and that was the end of it. Red Bull this year seemed to have a perfect team. Their car works on virtually every single track. I think you can make a case that Red Bull could have won every single race this year. They've won 5 in a row. They have 6 wins this year? Yeah, they have 6 wins this year so far. But it's going to be more. And there's been 9 races. I argue they could have won all 9 races up to this point. If you say Seb could have won more races in 2017-2018, I'd say Red Bull could have won all 9. Maybe Portugal least likely, but Bahrain was due to 1 pass. Spain was due to getting caught out on strategy. And Portugal was Verstappen had the lead, but I think he made a mistake and let Hamilton to DRS, and then he ran off. But I'd say Red Bull definitely if things played out a little bit differently, they could have had 8 out of 9 wins. And we'd be having a different conversation. We'd be talking about Red Bull domination. And Hamilton needed a lot more. I think he was some like 80 points ahead of Seb by the end of the year. Around that point. It was more than just the DNF. The lead changed after the Italian Grand Prix, and then Seb had 2 DNFs and a mechanical failure in qualifying. So he dropped some like 60 points, somewhere around that, to Hamilton in that time frame. And he would never really caught up. He had good finishes, but just never made it. Red Bull. So I find it amusing. Like, I thought, like, you know, having a totally different winner would be cool, but in all honesty, not really. Because Verstappen right now is in what Hamilton has been doing basically the last multiple years, which is just qualify at the front, don't worry about his car, no competition, manage his tires, manage his engine, set the fastest lap, race done, race win. And Hamilton's on the opposite end, fighting a McLaren, and then trying to push the engine, push the tires, throw different things at strategy-wise. So 70 points, but we don't have the championship guaranteed, actually. We need to finish the next race. Yeah. I would prefer... Like, here's the thing. I would rather have a championship where Hamilton wins, but it's closely fought to the very end of the last race with another team, like Max, than have Max Verstappen dominate the season and win with, like, 5 races to go. What do you guys think? If you're given that choice, where it's an extremely close championship to the very last race, maybe last lap pass, and Lewis wins it, or Max wins it, but with many races to go in pretty dominant fashion. The internet has mixed opinions on that. But, in my opinion, there's nobody who should be handed a championship. Like, you know how, at the end of the last race in Austria, George Russell got robbed by Alonso for a point. Renault, or Alpine's Twitter, got absolutely, like, blamed, roasted, spun around, grilled for not letting George Russell have the points. And someone I saw, a highly liked and upvoted comment was, Alonso has 1,800 points and Russell has 0. Let him have the point. First off, that's wrong. Russell has 3 points per Mercedes. So, it's not like he never scored a point in his life. And second of all, the whole point of racing is not to hand out points. Nobody hands out a position because they felt bad for a driver, unless, like, you know, it's your teammate. But at the end of the day, you're racing for your team. If you let go because you feel bad about a driver from a rival team, that's not going to make your fans happy, because you're fighting. Like, think of Alpine's situation. You're fighting Aston Martin and AlphaTauri for 5th place, and that's millions of dollars in prize money. And, you know, besides that, Alonso is basically fighting Seb for the championship position, probably like 10th place, I imagine. Seb and Gasly. And every point counts in the midfield. And getting that 1 point could be the difference between millions of dollars. And if Russell was handed a 10th place point because a driver refused to pressure him and try to pass, then what does that mean for his point? If Russell scores 10th place and gets a point because he genuinely earned it and had an amazing drive and held off with a great defense, then yeah, that would be awesome. That's a deserved, well-deserved point position. But if you're given the easy road, then why doesn't everybody just park to the side of the road and let, I don't know, Roman Grosjean win one race because he never got to win? That never happens because this is racing. Racing is all about trying to extract the best performance from yourself and your car. This is not a charity. This is a competition. So, that's my hot take. But it shouldn't really be a hot take. Nobody deserves to win. Yeah, people can get robbed all the time. Russell got robbed of a point. Charles Leclerc got robbed from his engine cutting out in Bahrain 2019, but nobody deserves to be handed points. Anyway, that being said, we got a race win, 80 points. Now we have guaranteed a championship win. Yeah, have you ever watched the movie Cars? Winning isn't everything. Racing's a giant family fraternity. Do the Vin Diesel meme, but at the end of the day, it's a competition. It's sports. There are symbolic things you can do in competition in many sports, but where do you draw the line? Like, think of like maybe what's a good example I could think of? This is gonna be far-fetched because maybe not many of you watch NFL, but think of like Drew Brees, who recently played his last game for the Saints. He got blown out in a loss. Nobody lets him win because it's his last season. He has to fight for it. How about Henrik Lundqvist from the New York Rangers? When he finally got to the Stanley Cup Finals, after so many years of trying, he got obliterated by Los Angeles that year in the finals. And it was like, oh, King Henrik deserved a cup. Well, nobody deserves a cup. Nobody makes it all the way to the finals and is like, oh, but Henrik Lundqvist is here. We gotta let him win so we can have a cup. No. The Kings, Los Angeles Kings, won the Stanley Cup in 2012 and they came in 2014 with the opportunity to beat Lundqvist and deny him a cup, and they stomped it. Absolutely stomped it. And the same thing happened with Carey Price this week for the Montreal Canadiens. First time in a Stanley Cup after many years of his career, probably his last good year to get a cup run. And Tampa comes in and almost sweeps the team, but pretty much an entire pounding. So, in sports, you can make gestures, but when it's a competition, you don't hold back, because people train for this stuff their whole life. And there's more implications than just getting the result. Meanwhile, I get the fourth place result by making the pass of the Sylvia. But in the movie Cars, like at the end, and I guess massive spoiler 15 years later if you haven't seen the movie, but you know, at the end where Lightning McQueen's about to win the Piston Cup, and the Charger Daytona, I forget the guy's name, like King something, I don't remember his name, but he crashes, has a massive wreck, you know, career ending, I guess, in the Cars world, and the Queen forfeits the win, not because he wanted to let Chick Hick win, but because he wanted to help his friend in other car. Did I just choke the win? With a wall bonk? Ooh, I actually might lose this one. Clean sweep? Is the clean sweep at jeopardy? Oh no. Oh no. Oops. Oh no. Oh. Ah, just barely. I messed that up. Oh man, that was a choke. I mean, I still won the championship, but that was a choke. Big choke there. Youch. So no clean sweep for me. Oopsie. I mean, we already guaranteed the championship, so... Only 2,000 credits for that. Well, race 9. Let's just save the game. Who cares about... I'm not going to reset for that. But I'm saving the game in case we need to prize car cycle. I don't think we need to. I don't want a prize car cycle. Big rip, though. I actually choked that one. And that should have been an easy race. Mercedes, look what they need to make a fraction of her power. It would be cruel if Mercedes just came back and absolutely stomped the rest of the year and just obliterated Red Bull just when they give them hope. But I feel like that's not the case this year. I don't think they could pull that off 3 years. They pulled it off against Ferrari twice in a row, but I don't think they could pull it off against Red Bull. Alright, well, last race. I don't think the cars magically upgraded themselves between championship races, but I don't know. Maybe the AI got stronger. Oh, it's now 3 laps instead of 2. What do you think about Red Bull? Like, as the energy drink or the F1 scene? Because I have different thoughts. The F1 brand, yeah. I mean, they look really strong this year. I think, personally, if they lose this championship somehow, it will be one of the biggest chokes in recent F1 history. That's my thought. They seem to have the high ground. They have a car that suits every track, perfect pit stops, perfect drivers, great reliability, great straight line speed, great downforce, and they're getting the results. I'd argue they could have won every single race this year, or at the being generous, 8 out of the 9 races. But if they somehow lose this year, that's on them. Energy drink I don't really care about. I've never had a Red Bull in my life. But that's just my thought. They've actually outplayed Mercedes in most of the fields. Why was K-Mag regarded as an unsportsmanlike driver? It's because he was really aggressive. He squeezed a lot of drivers. Contact always happened between him and other drivers. And he was kind of a mini jerk off track. Not as much as like Mazepin or anybody, but you know. He had his couple scruffs with Hulkenberg and Grosjean and Leclerc especially. Remember when Haas were the 4th best car and they were fighting Red Bull in 2018 for that one race in Australia? And then the pit stop thing happened and they've never been the same. Yeah. It's weird. I'm not rooting for Lewis to win this championship, but I'm also not rooting for Max either. I'm rooting for a good fight. Because I'm gonna be perfectly honest, I'm rooting for Seb. Even if he has no chance of winning the championship in the Aston, I'd still root for Seb every race. I also want to see Lando do well. I really like. I know it's kind of a bandwagon trait, but Lando has actually like been really impressive this year. So I always cheer for him. Ancient Lancia. Yeah, those Italians. Their smart strategies and development. Their neighbors at Maranello have an interesting history with strategy. So final lap of the championship, let's not blow it by bonking a wall. Getting screwed by rubber banding. It's weird because you can see the rubber banding. I'm like holding first place, but then the second I need to repass somebody, my car's just not fast enough to keep up. I mean, Lancia's still like a legendary brand. I don't think they ever really fell off. They just don't make cars anymore, right? Are they defunct or are they just done? They're just done with racing. Stellantis. And that's the championship. Too bad we couldn't clean sweep, but we could clean that up pretty easily. West Sylvia got one win off of me. So that should be 96 points then. How did the midfield or the other rally cars do? Who won that battle? The Lancer. The Corolla got pretty poor results across the board. That will be 10,000 credits, and we are ending off on 170,000 credits. That is actually, like, awesome. And yeah, that's the championship, so let's get our prizes. For winning the championship, we get 50,000 credits. So we went from, you know, being in poverty a couple series ago to 220,000 credits in the bank. You love to see it. What's our prize card? Oh. Okay, we got another prize card. That one. That one's it. This is GT 2000 moment. Because that's the actual Evo 5. And yeah, I don't know if this is copyrighted or not. It might be. Oh well if it is. But this is the credits. No, we didn't beat the game. We aren't done, but we just got spammed with Evos. you know. We have completed GT3. This would be like the any percent speed run, but this is not the end. But enjoy this. This is beautiful music. Beautiful credit scene with the Supra. Quality assurance. Nice and short and sweet credits. There's a longer credits. There's a version 2. So it's not all done yet. But we are all done with this series. Besides that trial mountain, that race that we'll clean up. Oh, that's so annoying. Yes, we have completed Beginner League, so we got that prize. And let's take a look at our garage and look at our prizes. So we already have an Evo 6. Or no, it's an Evo 4, right? I don't remember what I have. We have an Evo 4 and an Evo 7. Okay, so the Evo 6 is new to us in Dandelion Yellow. Almost Evo 5. But right above, we do have an actual Evo 5 in Nea's Blue Pearl. Man, that's just staring at me in the face. No. We are not done with the game yet. There's a lot more to the game. We got the credits, but it's only 27% of the game. So, we still have plenty of GT3 to go through.